Hello and welcome back to another weather video. Today we are talking about severe thunderstorms, where we do have another severe threat in the Great Lakes region. This has kind of been the hotspot over the last couple of weeks for severe weather, and today is no difference. So we're going to be talking about that today. So if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. Now let's get right on into it. So we have slight and enhanced risks today. Starting off with enhanced risk, we have 35,033 square miles of area and a population of 4.2 million people. That includes Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin, Waukesha, Wisconsin, Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Then we have the slight risk, which covers 82,139 square miles and a population of 18.6 million people, which includes Chicago, Illinois, Minneapolis, Minnesota, St. Paul, Minnesota, Fort Wayne, Indiana, and Grand Rapids, Michigan. Then, of course, we have the marginal risk, which is 176,367 square miles and a population of 31.8 million people, and that includes Detroit, Michigan, Columbus, Ohio, Baltimore, Maryland, Washington, D.C., and Cleveland, Ohio. So, we do have a tornado threat today, 5% risk in 25,477 square miles, and a population of 1.4 million people, and that includes Eau Claire, La Crosse, Andover, Stevens Point, and White Bear Lake. 2% risk in 59,178 square miles and a population of 16.6 million people. That includes Chicago, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Madison. Wind and hail roughly correlate to the enhanced slight and marginal risks, although the hail risk is smaller than that, with 15% chance in a 53,279 square mile area and a population of 4.9 million people, which includes Minneapolis, St. Paul, Duluth, Bloomington, and Plymouth. Then 5% chance in 108,941 square miles and a population of 16.5 million people, which includes Chicago, Milwaukee, Madison, Aurora, and Rockford. So, here is the NAM 3-kilometer model, and we're going to be taking a look at this risk. So you can see that throughout the evening on Tuesday and the morning on Wednesday, really not much there, but throughout the day on Wednesday we do get a couple rounds of some showers, but nothing very significant comes into play until later in the day, when all of that energy kind of comes to a breaking point and we get some thunderstorms right in here. You can see Minneapolis, St. Paul area in the mix there, and then as this threat continues, you move into areas such as Madison and Milwaukee. Then everything moves down into Chicago, where Chicago could be the turning point for this, where we could start seeing this get a lot more organized into a clear bow echo, and a pretty large one at that. I would not be surprised if we see this get considered a derecho at that point, once you have that bow echo that travels, which I think that the bow echo starts here. I think this definitely classifies as a bow echo and a derecho, but we'll see what actually happens here. Then this is even stretching into Thursday, into Friday with all of this. So we have a multi-day threat here. Let's actually go back here and take a look. Yeah, so this is Thursday into Friday. You have that marginal risk here. That is not this risk, but this second wave here is talking about. And let's take a look at some other different characteristics here, starting off with a mixed layer cape. This is basically the energy for thunderstorms to form, and you can see that there is plenty here. So throughout the day on Wednesday, everything fuels back up, and you can see that when all this starts to boom, you have a lot of energy from areas in Missouri all the way up into Wisconsin, and that is what drives all of those thunderstorms to get to the point where they could contain wind and hail. This is a pretty good pretty good indicator of strong winds and hail, but not tornadoes. This is not a great indicator of that. Bulk shear is the better characteristic that we look at for tornadoes, or at least I look at this most often. And by the time this risk starts to pop up here, we're looking for an area where the contrast is the most. So you can see here in that 5% risk, you have areas that are at 70 knots right next to areas that are around 40 knots. So that difference does mean that we could see a lot of rotation here, 70 to 20, all of that stuff. So we have some pretty drastic areas here, 50, 20, 30 knot differences, even in areas that are in that 2% risk. So just another thing to look at here, and a pretty significant tornado and severe weather threat. So what do you think is going to happen? Comment in the comment section down below. I personally think that this could be one of the worst severe threats that we've had so far this year, especially since the prime of tornado season in the south. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. But that's all for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.